Welcome back to Dubsy Bricks for another episode of Build a Mandalorian Lego. And so far in this build series, we've been doing rock work, locations from the Mandalorian, and a load of the support structures on there. This week, we're finally going to be doing scenes from the Siege of Mandalore. And we're going to be working on this area just here. And this is going to be the room where Captain Vaughn gets killed off. And this is the source material that I'm going to be using. So this is a screenshot from the episode. And as you can see, there are a couple of doorways in there, or tunnel entrances. And I'm going to be putting a tunnel entrance on the back, on this side here, and then obviously here, which is going to be leading to the other tunnels and the chute that they come down from above. Now, one thing I have got to decide is whereabouts on this wall here I'm going to be putting the tunnel entrance. Ideally, it would be dead central. Now, the problem of having it dead central on there is I was going to have it so you could see along the tunnel along here. However, it's going to be too far back to do that. I could do this, so this is a removable section, or I could do it so I build the tunnel in, build the walls on both sides of it, and the only way you can see down the tunnel would be from this angle here, or from the opposite side going along, which could work because it's not going to be a massively long tunnel, and the only thing that's going to be in there are some lights and a couple of clone troopers. But I will have a good think about that. I could quite easily do the removable section, just rest it on tiles, and it will be absolutely fine. So we'll just have a good think about it. But first of all, what we need to do is get this room built up. And once we've got that built up, I can finish the support structure across here, and then that will all be good to go on there. So without further ado, let's get those bricks out and let's get building. And here we have the prototype for the tunnel section. And unfortunately, I don't have the parts in the right colours, so I've just been prototyping using any parts that I have that are the right shape, basically. Now, this part here, I'm going to be using the macaronis, and that's just going to be sliding in there and kept in place by either bricks or tiles on the bottom there. These clips, there will be a ladder attached to that, so I'll probably move those up. I do need to order in a lot of bricks in order to do the tunnel sections in the colours that I want. Now, I will be putting lights along here, so every so often there is going to be a trans yellow or trans orange part along that bit. But yeah, just wanted to make sure that I've got the design worked out exactly how I'm going to have it, and then I can order in all of those parts. So I am going to be relying on lego.com, Bricklink and the postal service just to get these parts in. On this part here, originally I was planning on using tiles. However, I feel like this works just as well, and it gives it the more smoother finish, which is what I'm after. And I do quite like the little lines that you get there where the bricks have clipped together. I just think it breaks it up a little bit. And due to the fact it's in dark bluish grey, it's not going to stand out quite as much as it does on the light bluish grey, but it will look good. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to get as much built up as I possibly can on this room with the bricks I have got available. But obviously I am going to have to wait for those Bricklink orders to come in. So let's get started on the actual room and see what we can get built. And here we have the first section of tunnel. And as you can see, I've put in here some snot bricks, and this is just purely to hold everything in place. Now, this is the bottom half of the tunnel, and this is 2 of the cut plates, 4 macaronis and a tile, and then that fits in there perfectly to cover the 6 studs that go on there. Now, that's just going to rest on the floor. I'll be putting 2 plates and a tile on top of that, and that's going to keep that one in place. Now, I've made this up here, and I will be changing that modified brick over to a normal one, and the trans yellow is just there purely to act as the light. However, it won't be lit up, so that's going to clip in on the bottom stud on there, and then the opposite one of these that's going on the top, that will clip into the other 3 studs on there. Now, all of these macaronis, they will be in dark bluish grey eventually. Now, I've only got one of these, I think it is in dark bluish grey, but I have got the rest of them in another colour, so I'll just put them in for the time being just to build it up. I was hoping to build the entire section over the top of all the supports. However, due to having to replace these, it's pretty pointless me doing so. I have ordered some of these. How quickly they're going to arrive, not really sure. Just have to wait and see what happens with that. But I can carry on building all this wall up, get the floor tiled off, and get the scene in there with Captain Vaughn on the floor. So let's carry on building, and we'll check back in once we've made a little bit more progress. And changes are going to need to be made. Really happy with how this section here is all coming on, and the design of using these is what I would like to do on here. And I'm going to do it on this tunnel here, on that one there, and also there's going to be some in this part here. The tunnel that's going all the way along here, however, in order for me to use these pieces on the entire mock, I'm going to need about 240, I think it's going to work out, of these. And from lego.com, they're 31 cents each. So it's going to cost something like 70 odd euro just to get the pieces to do the tunnels. And they're not pieces that I'm probably going to use that much in the future. They could be used as a bridge support or something like that, but I'm not sure whether or not I can justify using them for the entire mock, especially when you're not actually going to see all of the tunnel and until I pull the removable section off. I want to have an experiment and see if there's another technique I can use for the tunnel. I have seen some where people use tiles and you angle them all the way around, and if that looks as good on here, then I think that's the way I'll go for the majority of it. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to still use these pieces on the entrances and in these two tunnels here. So when the removable front's on there, all you can see are these parts, but when you remove it off, there'll be a mixture of these and those parts there. So it's going to be a little bit of experiment. If it doesn't look right, then I'll just bite the bullet and get these in dark bluish grey and pay the 70 odd euro. But I would sooner put the money elsewhere on the mock than something you're not going to see a great deal of. But I don't want to sacrifice the image, the look of the mock, basically. So anyway, let's get experimenting. Let's carry on building this section up just here, and then we'll make some decisions. And that's all three walls all built up, ready for tiling. What I'm going to be doing is putting some 1x1 and 1x2 tiles on the jumper plates and headlight bricks just to give it that finishing touch, and then tile the floor off. Clips on the walls, they're all ready for the ladders to be attached, and then we can put the roof on and build the support structure up. Obviously I won't be doing that until I get the correct colour arches in. They have been ordered, so fingers crossed they won't take too long to arrive. I have decided with these three tunnels here, I am going to be sticking to my original plan of using the macaroni pieces with a tile on one end and a cut plate on the back. That will give it the look that I'm after. With this tunnel here, originally I was considering having a cutaway section, which a wall that's pulled away, and then you'll be able to see the tunnel afterwards. But I thought, what's the point of doing that? I might as well have it so I can enjoy the view of the tunnel the whole time. So I am going to be doing it so that you can see into it. So there will only be one curved wall on the back, and I'm probably going to use tiles on that as well as these arches and inverted arches. So every so often I'll have those on there, and that'll go all the way along until we get to the main chamber or the chute that comes down from the surface level. So all I need to do is build that room up, then I can get the floor all supported, and then I'll be able to build that tunnel into there. But next up, what we need to do is tile this room. So let's get the tiles out and let's get started. And that's the room pretty much done. Still got to put a couple of pipes on the wall, got a clip there and another one over this side, and just waiting for those arches to arrive in the dark bluish grey. Once they've come in, I can then put the roof section on here. There is going to be a light in the middle there, which is going to have a yellow hint to it, and that's obviously going to make this room look so much different once that's all done. The tunnel is going to be along here. I'll be able to start that once I've finished this room down the bottom there. So hopefully won't have to wait too much longer to get that section all finished. Just waiting for some parts to arrive to get the light sections all done on that. And one thing I am considering doing is this section here, which has got the completed like shape of the tunnel. I'm thinking about making that a little bit longer and then having the exposed part of the tunnel a little bit shorter. So I think it's going to be quite nice to be able to see from here and also from that way a larger completed tunnel look. And then once I put the lights in as well, I think it's going to give it a much better visual as well. But yeah, really happy with how this is all coming on, and it's so nice to finally be building a scene from the Siege of Mandalore. Anyway, hope you enjoyed the update. If you have, please give us a big thumbs up. If you haven't already done so, please consider subscribing to the channel. Remember to hit that notification bell so you don't miss any future content on the channel. And please show your family and friends. Anyway, thanks for holding on by. See you next time. Bye for now.